Right, there's nothing really new happening in DbD at the moment, so I'm literally just gonna make a fucking goofy R tier list because I'm extremely lazy. I will be working on the Resident Evil 6 video, don't worry, I'm just currently procrastinating. This is not a career of my choice, and I'm under no obligation. I think I'm just gonna make a bunch of tier lists and just ram it all into one video. So I'm just gonna start with the strength tier list, which is more or less gonna be predictable across the board.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
Trapper, dog shit. Trapper is super weak. Super add-on reliant. Super mid as fuck. He needs his best add-ons all the time. He needs Honing Stone, Double Eerie, his Trapper Sack, despite its downside. Like, Trapper is so bad that this is the only killer that has to go on a Lord of the Rings feature-length special fucking director's cut film adventure to go get his power and use it. No other killer has to work for this. Like, there are killers that have to build up their power, like Myers or Nemesis and so on, but every other killer can go straight into using their power right from the get-go. Trapper can't. For some fucking reason, he's the only one that can't. And because of that, he's just not good. Honestly, like, he needs Trapper Sack base kit. He should have all of his traps readily available to him without the downside. I don't know why behavior is just against this. Please, for the love of fucking God, buff Trapper. Wraith. Pretty neutral, honestly. Wraith is a pretty decent killer. He's not insanely strong. He's not A tier or like even the high end of B tier, honestly, but he's pretty flexible. He has good add-ons all across the board. He has strong add-ons. He has good meme add-ons that actually serve a niche specific purpose. He's good with chase perks. He's good with anti-heal. He's good with slowdown. He's pretty much synergy friendly with anything and everything. You can make whatever kind of build you want with Wraith. He has downsides, like if you are running Shadow Dance, and survivors know that you're running Shadow Dance for whatever reason, they'll just start spamming the vaults over windows or pallets to try and stop you, and they'll force you to try and uncloak, which they can call your bluff, and if you don't, they can go back to spamming vault unless you time it right and beat them to it. Wraith is pretty bad on pallet-heavy maps. Like, yeah, he can lunge round stuff the moment he uncloaks, but most maps that are pallet-infested, like Gideon's, are just gonna fuck him. He's probably like the best stealth killer as well, which personally absolutely annoys the fuck out of me, but that's a different ordeal altogether. Wraith is neutral. Hillbilly is an S tier. I don't think anybody would disagree. Very mobile killer. He can one-shot you. Better Billies will just learn to curve around all the tiles and whatever shit to try and snag you with a chainsaw. Like, he has one weakness, and it's windows, which is remedied if you run Bamboozle. Hillbilly has pretty okay-ish add-ons across the board, but the really good Hillbillies will run like Carburetor that makes him 110, but increases his rev speed by like fucking massive amounts. And there'll be the Iridescent Engravings, the ones that increases his charge speed, but his movement speed while using the chainsaw is like scuffed. Like, the really good Hillbillies will be using those add-ons quite a lot, and they're just next level disgusting to be up against. Overall, though, he's not actually super obnoxious or oppressive, unlike the fucking other two S-tier killers that are going to be up here. Hillbilly is really, really fast. He's very counterable, but he's very skill-expressive. Probably the most skill-expressive S-tier out of everybody in that, honestly. Controversial opinion, maybe. Honestly, I think Hillbilly's a really, really good killer. Very, very strong, very, very fast, and very skill-oriented.
How could things be any worse?
Nurse is Nurse. Like, she teleports. Like, when you start learning Nurse, it's Dead by Daylight, but once you actually get a modicum of intelligence with Nurse, it turns into an isometric top view point-and-click game. Like, you just look at Survivor Aura, teleport, win. You don't need slowdown with Nurse. You can just win her with, like, using Lethal Pursuer, Barbecue, Darkness Revealed, Predator, Gearhead, like, anything that's just pure aura reading. I even mentioned Nowhere to Hide. Yeah, Nurse is just so obnoxious, and to this day, Behavior refuses to actually change her or nerf her. It's actually super annoying. Myers. Myers is weird. He got changes recently, and he has been buffed. He's weird. He's kind of just overall better. He is an overall better killer. Is he insanely OP? Not really. He's disgusting at pallet shredding. I think what he lacks in map mobility and like juggling potential, like Wraith, Myers makes up for it with lethality and just pallet shred. You cannot spam pre-drops against this killer because he will bulldoze through them like he's Billy or Bubba. He will shred through them. His add-ons are really, really good. Vanity Mirror is really fucking good. The Judas Tombstone is kind of fun to use if you build around it. The Hairbrush and the Memorial Paper is just so good. It's just a Hyper Brutal Strength and a Forever Entwined in add-ons. You could theoretically bring like 6 perks on this motherfucker, and you could just, you know, like 6 perks on one killer who can bulldoze for pallets himself, and he can insta-down. And if they're on Death Hook, he can bypass Decisive Strike because he can tombstone them. Myers is pretty decent, honestly. I think Myers is actually an alright killer, all things considered. Is he better than Wraith? I might move him down later. I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'll decide afterwards.
What the fuck is that? Get my gaff, you green cunt.
Hag. Hag. Hag's weird. Hag's both a good killer and a bad killer. It depends entirely on so many things, such as if you're good enough to play Hag specifically, if you can microplay with her, if you're willing to play to her strengths specifically, or if you're not able to do any of these things. Hag's weird. She's super campy in terms of gameplay. You have to protect your hooks, your 3-gen, maybe your 4-gen. You have to pick a territory of part of the map to protect as yours. You need to constantly make sure your web is ready. You're 110, you're really slow, so you're not even good in chase, but Hag can demolish matches, though. Hag has so much potential to really fuck things up. And, like, you know, you bring double range, you bring Rusty Shackles with Mint Rag, you have good map mobility, you have stealth, so you can get to places where even survivors wouldn't expect. If survivors are unattended to the ground, and you can blend it in with, like, rubble, like on Hawkins, you can throw people off. Like, you can just appear everywhere and nowhere all the time with Hag. That's to the casual survivors. Once you get survivors that know what they're doing, Hag is just not a good killer. Like, the moment you pick somebody up for a hook, they will just run around, trigger all your traps, shit up your web. You'll have to go reset, and survivors will just run in, shit up your web, run away again. Like, you need to play the Hag strengths specifically. You'll need to camp. You'll need to know when to just get out of range to then come back and contest a hook for whatever reason. You need to know when to, go for a tunnel, go for a slug, then fuck off somewhere else and harass other survivors. You need to keep him injured so you can keep the threat of you appearing at the worst time there. You pretty much need to constantly be on the ball with her to actually get any benefit with her. I think because of that, I'm just going to put her in B tier. She's not as good as Wraith or Myers. Myers is way more lethal and can straight up shit pallets. Wraith has good mobility and can pretty much juggle and has good synergy with a lot of perks and add-ons. Hag doesn't. You need to play to one specific gameplay loop with Hag, or you lose. That is the end all be all.
Funny monkey, lovable, I love funny monkey.
Doctor C tier. Like, he has anti-loop. It's consistent, but fuck, is it slow. It is such a slow anti-loop tool. You have to constantly deal with, having to go around your shock, then rotate around the loop, shock the survivor, rotate the loop, shock the survivor again, rotate the loop, over and over, until you get close and you get a hit, then they'll hold forward, you catch up. Like, Doctor is very weak in that front. Like, yeah, if he times it right, then you try revolting any pallet or window you've gone through, and he shocks you, he can deny you, he can deny your loop potential and just straight up get a free hit. The one good thing about Doctor is that he completely counters stealth. You cannot use stealth against Doctor. He will find you at some way or form. Either you'll go insane and the red light from his add-ons will get you, maybe the aura from his hallucinations will rat you out. Like, Doctor can just straight up find you pretty consistently across the board, more than any other killer bar, maybe like a pure aura reading nurse. And his add-ons are pretty good across the board. They all have walls of text, and they fucking just take like a million years for you to really understand what they do specifically for Doctor. But once you know what they do, they're all really good. Like, both his Eerie add-ons are good, the Calm add-ons are good, Order can be useful, Discipline is very, very good. He's weirdly synergistic as well. You can make him a stealth killer, you can make him a chase killer, you can make him slow down, anti-heal. Obviously, the biggest meme is pure skill check Doctor, but, you know, his downside is that he's just too slow. He's just a really, really slow killer.
You want died like last men visit Amazonia?
What'd they die of?
Crushed pelvises.
Huntress might be a bit of a controversial take, because I know people think Huntress has gone like a little bit worse over the years due to like maps and palette density and a couple of other things. I think Huntress can still hold up for herself. She's still a very threatening killer, and she still can defend for herself, like even on the worst maps ever. She's she can hit you from theoretically anywhere. She's very good at, you know, hitting multiple survivors through potential LOS. If you're out in the open, she could potentially get you. She has pretty much an endless skill ceiling. Like, you could just straight up cross-map orbital snipe with her. Her hitboxes are fucking bullshit. Like, they'll sometimes phase through survivors, or they'll be expanded to the size of fucking beach balls, but that's a fucking beam we'll get to another time. She has 7 hatchets, so she has 7 chances to fucking hit you with her power, which is not fun to be up against. The amount of times I have dodged like 5 hatchets only to be clipped by the last 2 is beyond infuriating, and I'm not even going to go that far. Her add-ons are pretty bad though. Like, barring like both the halved add-ons that make you recover faster after yeeting a hatchet, and like the babushka add-ons, the wind-up add-ons, they're all, like, all of her other add-ons are really just not that helpful, barring Wooden Fox is cute. I think that's a really funny one. Or is it Wooden Horse? I don't fucking know. Eerie Head is disgusting and bullshit. Another thing to mention, this killer is really good at camping. You get a Huntress that camps you, you need to pray that your fucking teammates know what they're doing and they can run in and get you off at the right time. And even then, she can still down you. Like, she can hit you with a hatchet, and you can just still go down to a basic attack or another hatchet, depending on the situation. You go down in basement against a Huntress, good fucking luck getting out. You're not escaping against a basement camping Huntress. And speaking of basement camping, Bubba. Bubba is the lowest of B tier. I think he is the lowest B tier character, because Bubba, he is constantly threatening people with an insta-down. Unlike Hillbilly, who has to rev up his chainsaw and then sprint at you and then has one chance to hit you with a chainsaw, Bubba has full control of his movement and can swing his chainsaw multiple times and then down you. The problem is with Bubba, if he clips a pixel of his power, his movement is cucked and he has to go into a tantrum and wait for his token to rebuild, which really hurts him, especially on some of the more stupidly fucking designed maps like Irie. God, the amount of chainsaws I had get robbed because of Iria Crows is beyond infuriating, and I really hate that fucking map. Like, please remove it. I don't want more maps. I just want it removed. Same with the Garden of Joy. Bubba has pretty bad add-ons as well, barring Chili and the engravings. Like, literally, those are the only 2 add-ons I see Bubba's usually run. And it's really depressing, because Bubba's fucking weird. At his most simplest basic form, Bubba is a simple, I swing chainsaw, you die power. But the really good Bubbas will do the wackiest, strangest fucking movement ever to throw you off, and it will be like, you have to drop the pallet or you will die. You have to. And it's weird, because Bubba's fucking hilarious to be up against. Because it's either simple chainsaw sweep man, or I'm going to do the wackiest fucking movement just to confuse you and then get the down. He also has the same weakness as Billy with Windows, but again, remedy that with Bamboozle, and you're pretty much sorted. He's also got no mobility, so that's why he's down here. But because of the threat of an insta-down, and he shits on pallets for a fucking living, makes him better than, like, everybody in C tier and D tier, respectively, honestly.
Like me. Now I'm playing with power.
Frederick. I think Frederick's a pretty good killer, honestly. I think Freddy's probably, like, high B tier. Is that a controversial take? I think he's good. Like, yeah, the clocks kind of massively cuck his power if you go for them at the right time, and since his powers don't work on you, which I think is dumb, I think it should just lob off, like, a set percentage of your immunity instead of completely nullifying it. At the same time, Freddy has an answer to everything. He has a good chase power with his snare, which slows survivors down, and he can hit them. He has a teleport, which gives him killer instinct and builds up the sleep meter when he's onto generators, and he can teleport to completed generators. His dream pallets are the weirdest one because they're not really that strong, but they serve as free zoning, even at their most passive, where they're just stood there doing nothing. The survivor will see that and be like, well, I have to fucking, like, come around here or, you know, I die out in the open. But then you can turn that into, like, a C4, and if they're asleep, they will zone themselves away to get away from your fucking pallets. They will. They will not entertain the fucking chance of your pallets. And depending on the loop size, depending what map you're on and the size of the loops, you could run the add-on that increases your detonation range with the pallets, and you could just straight them hit them from a fucking mile away. It's hilarious. Freddy has an answer for everything. He's pretty solid. His weakness are the clocks, genuinely. And honestly, that's not the worst weakness in the world. I think they should just remove, like, the Dream Powers should remove a set amount of the clock's immunity rather than just outright have the clocks cuck the powers altogether.
Daddy! Make it go away! Make it go away, Daddy! Daddy!
Next up, Piggy. You're better than Doctor. In terms of chase, you're worse than Doctor because you have a dash, but most survivors will see you crouch and then immediately just leave the loop. If they try and entertain the loop, you can then dash and then hit them from whatever angle. You could dash one way and then immediately U-turn the other way, and they'll throw survivors off, and it can really, really hurt them. The main thing with Pig, however, are her helmets. Her helmets are probably the most deadly thing in the game if left unattended. I'd probably say she has the deadliest second objective, second to Sadako, maybe. And if you have a helmet on you and then a generator pops, you have to get that helmet off in the time limit. And this is where it gets really complicated with Pig, because Pig mostly is fine. She's easily counterable. You can just go far away to a jigsaw box and get your helmet off in like 1 or 2 tries and her power's useless. But then you'll get those games where, like, it'll take you 3 or 4 attempts to get the helmet off, and she might just be around the area where your fucking box is. That could just be where all the action is, where there's generators going, there's chases, there's slugs, or whatever. And doubling up on that are her add-ons. Rule set number 2, I think, should be base kit. That's the one that hides the box's aura when they are unactive. I think that should be somewhat base kit, so it forces survivors to actually memorize the box's locations and actually entertain them early, rather than just, you know, ruffle them or go for them for free. However, her 2 other add-ons, the Bag of Gears and Creator Gears, I think are insanely stupid, and this is purely because of Screaming Pig builds. Because Screaming actually interrupts actions, this includes the boxes. And honestly, I had one game as Pig. This is when Xenomorph was fresh out. I was playing Pig and I was trying that ultimate weapon. I had a game on Dead Dog against like a full man Swift of Fangs where I just had one hook and I just couldn't fucking down anybody. They were just entertaining me in building. They were pre-dropping to fuck. I just couldn't kill anybody. I just couldn't down anybody. Then I downed one person, got them trapped, down the other person, trapped them, and then it's just a slow slug snowball until everybody was trapped. They popped the gen, and I just had Face of Darkness, Ultimate Weapon, fucking whatever else makes you scream, that just works for my favor. And that game turned from like a 1-hook 0-kill, just turned into a 1-hook 4K. It was so stupid. It doesn't elevate her though. She's just not she's not that threatening. Really, like, it comes down to RNG, like, some games she's like fucking A tier maybe. Other games she's down here and just not a threat. So she goes to C tier. Like, her slowdown is entirely dependent on RNG and add-ons. Her other add-ons are kind of decent as well. The Eerie add-ons especially. Amanda's box is kind of okay. Amanda's box? Amanda's secret? The one that reveals auras when people take off helmets. whatever that one is. I think Clown is a pretty disgusting killer. I think Clown has elevated. So, behavior buffed Clown during the Walking Dead update. An update, many people agree, was one of the worst in the fucking game. Myself included. The Walking Dead update, just on the whole, was garbage. Then, it just went worse when they made a whole bunch of reversions, like fog vials went from extremely obnoxious to power-breaking bullshit machines to nothing burgers that are depending entirely on maps. That should be fixed behavior. And then Clown, like, people remember the Clown actually had 2 bottles, and holy shit, Clown is, like, so unavoidable in chase. You get into a chase with a Clown, you need a pre-drop. You need a pre-drop against Clown. You cannot entertain whatever loop you want to against this killer. The only thing that he might be able to not be able to get you at is, like, God Pallets, which isn't really a good counter-argument or counter for him. Like, his haste is so fucking scary. And this isn't even including other chase perks like Save the Best, Rapid, Dissolution, Brutal Strength, Fire Up, Enduring. Like, a Clown on pure chase is so disgusting. His chase is just so good, but he has 2 weaknesses. No map control, no lethality. This killer has genuinely no lethality, barring his disgustingly powerful chase. And he needs to get chases down really, really quickly. And even with how good of a chase killer Clown is, it might just not be enough. It might not be enough, which is why he's heavily reliant on, like, Pain Resonance, Grim Embrace, Surge. Because of its potential synergy with haste perks and chase perks on the whole, I think Clown's better than what a lot of people give him credit for. I think Clown's a very good killer. He's not A tier, but he's scary.
Back off, ya spooky bitch!
Spirit, baby girl. I love Spirit. She's my main. She's kind of just withstood the test of time. She's had her ups and downs over the years, but she's still a very good killer. She's still very strong, very fast, very hard to predict. If you are a Spirit player of any modicum degree, I know you probably have a headset at fucking giga volume just to listen into every single fucking breath the survivors take, and you just weaponize that to fuck. Spirit's honestly got, like, one downside, is that her add-ons are kind of shit, barring movement speed and recovery time. Like, the recovery time especially, like, Rusty Flute, Spirit genuinely is a very, very threatening killer. Like, Spirit without Rusty Flute, she's like high B tier. Rusty Flute is so needed on most Spirit games. You don't really need anything else. You don't need duration. You don't need activation time. You just need movement speed and Rusty Flute, and you pretty much can win most of your games. However, we also need to talk about her other add-ons, because for some reason, she also has some of the best purples. Well, she has a really good purple and a really good iridescent. Mother-Daughter Ring and Sacred Blossom, because apparently a killer whose whole gimmick is around sound should be given a Killer Instinct add-on, and not only that, but move disgustingly fast as well. Like, nice, solid behavior. It took them, like, what, 3 years for them to nerf Mother-Daughter Ring? I don't even think it took them 3. I think it took them longer, actually. Yeah, because Mother-Daughter Ring was unchanged when they did that first rework with her. God, man, fucking... How the fuck did Spirit last as long as she did? Moving on.
Let me see what you have. No!
Legion. You're fucking down here, right? Legion is the second best killer to guarantee injures out of every killer of the roster. The moment they're in frenzy, you have to try and stun them. And they can bait you, they can lunge through and get an injure, they can just simply wait for you to drop the pallet, they'll vault over and hit you, and then they can get another free injure on somebody else, and so on. But that's where their strengths stop. Legion can guarantee maybe 2 injures at most, because if you're up against any survivor that has any brains whatsoever, they will split up the moment they know it's a Legion. Legion has no cross-map power, and unlike Clown, Legion has no good chase power, he has no anti-pallet power, he has no chase, he has no good mobility, he has no good lethality. He's the kind of nothing They can guarantee a ninja, but they can do nothing with it, barring like maybe get free Thanatophobia value, but like whatever. Like once Survivor heals, Thanatophobia is completely worthless. And that's kind of their problem. They have good add-ons. They do have some disgusting add-ons, like Iridescent Button, where they vault a pallet, it just automatically destroys. Like, that shit's gross. And it counts to Spirit Fury as well. There's also Jules Mixtape, so if you get stunned, it'll immediately refill the bar. So that with every button, you just get stunned, recover with Enduring, insta-vault, break the pallet, and then just press the button to deactivate and then you get a free hit. The add-ons that apply Broken and Oblivious when you mend is kind of neat. Like, the Oblivious one is actually really underrated. I often just fucking let Legion get way too close and then get caught out because of it. It's like, oh, I'm safe. Nope, fucking Legion around the corner. BFF's is finicky, but if you build around it, it's pretty good. Frank's Mixtape is handy. The aura reading, honestly, with Oblivious is really disgusting. They're two browns. They're two brown add-ons with fucking, the extra lunge. And is it duration? Like, oh, it's weird. Like, they're I've been speaking too much. They're Legion's best fucking add-ons. On the whole, though, they're not good killers. They're just not. They're down here. But they're impossible to buff, because if you buff them too much, they just become uncounterable, and anybody who played Dead by Daylight during that time knows exactly what that means. Next up, Plague. Legion, but better. Huntress, but better. Probably the best ranged killer in the game, honestly. And probably the only killer in the game where if they were to get their power infinitely, with no ways to bypass it, she would go on to be probably the best killer in the game. So, Plague can vomit on survivors and make them permanently injured throughout the whole trial. And that's scary, because that's a 115 killer that can just one-shot you all the time, which means you're forced to waste resources really, really early if you don't want to go down quick. But it also brings up the problem that she's very, very tall, so she's easy to see, and she has a big smoking sensor, so you know when she's on her fucking way to you. Even if you, like, look one way, and then look another way, and look back to where you were looking at, even if you didn't see her, you'll see the smoke from her sensor, and then you'll be like, oh, well, I know she's there now. And then you can just pre-run. Her power comes down to the fountains if a survivor cleanses. If they do, the survivor will be fully healed, but then you have access to Corrupt Purge, and it's a single string of vomit that can damage multiple survivors. So if you are in a position, like, say, an unhook, you can go get your power, go back to the hook, an unhook happens, and you could tear through somebody's borrowed time, and then injure the rescuer, and then down them both at the same time. Plague is such a scary killer. You need to play and respect around her gimmick. She's not something like Legion where you can just brute force ignore most of what she does. No. You have to respect Plague. She's not a killer you want to take lightly against. You need to play around her. You need to make sure you're on top of your vomit cleansing. You need to make sure not to go on teammates that aren't infected and not infect them. You need to make sure you've got enough pallets to, try and stun her out of her power if you can. You need to make sure you have enough to use so you can delay her long enough. You need to try and go down in positions where there's no fountains nearby. You need to cleanse at fountains that are not close to essential generators or where teammates are. You need to be careful with Plague. Plague can fuck. Unlike a killer who can't fuck...
Hold on a second. Just give me a moment.
Ghostface. And Ghostface saddens me. I love Ghostface, but God, man, he's so annoying to play. He's so shit. Right. He's like Myers in that he can stalk, but he can stalk survivors individually infinitely. So he can, 99 a survivor, get close, pop it instantly, and then get a free down, similar to how old Myers worked. The problem with Ghostface is you can pull him out of his power. If somebody notices a Myers, they have to run away. They can't just stare him down and remove him. With Ghostface, you pull him out of his power, and then he can't do anything. He can basic attack you, but he can never down you. And that is it. That's his power. He's not a good killer. He isn't. And I think out of everybody in the roster, I think Ghostface is the only one that actually has an add-on that directly affects and slows down generators. He has access to driver's license, and driver's license makes it so that when you stalk a survivor that's on a generator, it detonates for 15, as I just wallop the mic, it detonates for 15% generator regression, and it blocks the fucking gen. And Ghostface is so add-on reliant that you could run 5 slowdown with this motherfucker, and you could still go down to like 1 gen or no gens left. That's it. Like most killers, you can only get to that point if you're on like a really, really bad map, or if survivors are playing really, really good, and you can capitalize on a blunder like near the end of the game. Ghostface, you find yourself eating shit way more than actually anyone else. And it gets worse because he's so map reliant. You get something like Irie, it's bright and open as fuck. You're not going to use your power. You're not going to surprise anybody. You're just going to fucking suck dick. You get a map that's massive. You're not going to be able to go anywhere in the map because you have no mobility. You get a map that's too enclosed or walled. You might just not be able to cut survivors off or be able to stalk them properly because even above all of those things, Ghostface has a lot of natural flaws to him. Not only can you pull him out of his power by looking at him, sometimes it might just not work. You could stare him down and he'll never get revealed and you get exposed and you die. Sometimes you can reveal him through fucking walls, multiple walls, buildings, in fact. He has no chase tool other than exposing you and maybe running Purple Knife Sheath for the extra haste, but that's an add-on, and one of his best ones, honestly. He needs buffs. He needs buffs. And yeah, please buff him. And buff him in 2v8, please. I really want to play him, but it feels really bad to play him when everybody else is playing the better fucking killers.
What's up, y'all? It's Puff Daddy again.
Next up, Demogorgon. He's a weird one. He's kind of fallen down on the list, honestly. He's like probably the first and the weakest of all the jack of all trade type killers. So he has a shred attack that's like an M2. He charges it up, he can pounce really, really quick, and it's a special attack. He pretty much is like a chase tool. It's not a particularly good one, though. He has portals that he can teleport to, but the problem is that he needs to go to set them up, which means he's usually going to set them up at generators to try and, you know, give him ability to control around the map and build up pressure, but they're not as like good or consistent as like some of the later killers, like say Singularity or Springtrap or, you know, so forth, so on and so forth. He, similar to Bubba, if he clips 1 pixel, his shred is fucked. And with how scuffed hitboxes are, like, you could just straight up lose because a box may be a little bit bigger than how it fucking looks. And he's so reliant. Like, he has no synergy with a lot of perks. Like, you can't use Stibiffle because they nerfed that on him. He doesn't synergize with things like Play With Your Food. He doesn't use slowdown perks really, really well, like Surge. He doesn't use basic attack perks. He's kind of just only, like, pure slowdown, like, and that's it. You can't use stealth perks because he's obnoxiously fucking loud. Like, yeah, do I think you're worse than Bubba? Nah, you have a teleport ability. I can't ignore that. That alone holds you up. Oni. You know, there are moments as killers where if you lose like 3 gens at the start of the game, you just close your eyes and accept that it's over. Like, you ain't recovering. It's a loss. GG. Fucking move on next game. I'd argue Oni is the only killer in the game that can pull that kind of match back. And every single time I've seen a match like that happen, it's purely because Oni can pull that back. The problem with Oni is that he has a fuck awful early game. Probably the worst early game of all the killers. You're a basic M1 killer. You have to hit survivors to build up your power. But because Oni's old, everybody knows how to counter him, so they just pre-drop and play super safe against him. But the moment you get your first hit, and you can start using your power, like, honestly, him and Plague, if they could have their powers infinitely, they would be the kings and queens of Dead by Daylight. Like, genuinely. An Oni in demon mode can fuck up entire squads. He downs a survivor, he uses his power, he finds another survivor, he downs them, infectious fright procs, he goes over, he downs them, he can find the last survivor, he's harassing them, then he can force unbreakables, he can force like really good perks that should be used later on the line to just come into play way early. He can destroy many pallets because he'll be forcing them because of his potential insta-down. Oni can swing entire games back into his favor if he plays it right and he uses out to his fucking power correctly. But that early game's really, really rough. He's kind of relying on like some form of anti-healing perk, like Gift of Pain, to really keep survivors injured so he can keep collecting blood off them all the time. He's also like the best killer in 2v8. I fucking love Oni in 2v8. He's so much fun.
It's fish in it, and it...
Next up, Slinger. You're here. So, Death Slinger has this problem where he has a limited range, 18 meters max. He's 110, and he has a 32 meter tear radius. So he has kind of quite a good few amount of downsides. The problem is he has a gun. He has probably the most accurate ranged attack out of all the killers, honestly. And he can go for flicks. He can shoot through tiny nooks and crannies to get survivors. He can pretty much theoretically hit you from almost anywhere. Deathslinger in chase is like clown levels of oppressive. You need to be very fucking careful with Slinger, especially if it's a loop you can shoot over, because you can just shoot over, reel you around, get a free hit. Depending on the loop, he could also go over, break the fucking chain, recover with his 2 recovery add-ons, and just be right up your butthole again. He's very good with M1 perks like Surge, Genetic, not really Stabiffle anymore, because they nerfed that for him as well. I think his biggest problem is that he is extremely reliant on Iridescent Coin to really bring out his potential. Like, Iri Coin Deathslinger turns him from like a B tier killer to like A tier, I think. And genuinely, like, his add-ons are so dog shit. I think Deathslinger could be so much better, but he's held back by his power and the strange nerfs behavior gave him in tandem with just dog shit add-ons. Like, play Deathslinger without Iri Coin and then play a match with him with Iri Coin, and the difference is night and day. You just turn into a completely different killer. And for a killer that has been in my heart ever since he's been released, Pyramid Head. I love Pyramid Head. I fucking love this killer. And in terms of strength, he's more oppressive than Deathslinger because he's 115 and he can hit you through fucking walls. Pyramid Head has also gotten a add-on rework, and his add-ons are really fucking good. He can make add-ons that gives him a fatter beam but cuts the range, a thinner beam but longer range. He has add-ons that apply Sloppy Butcher, add-ons that reveal people's aura when they get hit by his power. He has the new Obsidian Goblet, which straight up breaks pallets when he flicks his sword at them. Like, Pyramid Head has some really good and fun add-ons now. And like I said, in a chase, you need to be careful with Pyramid Head because he can zone you around the pallet. If you animation lock yourself or bottleneck yourself, you're not getting away from his fucking punishment of the damned. Like, he will just fucking hit you from almost anywhere. And he can and he will. If you're camping around a wall and he sees your aura for whatever reason and you're not reacting correctly, he can hit you. He's also really good at tunneling. Like, he can hook a survivor, go check whatever, come back to the unhook, put his sword in the ground. He can hit the unhooked survivor. He can hit the rescuer, down the hooked survivor, and send him to a cage if they're tormented. Like, the fact that you can just straight up send a motherfucker onto, like, Death Hook without worrying about Decisive Strike, or even kill them straight up if they get tormented again, really elevates Pyramid Head's threat factor. You need to be careful of your positioning against him, whether or not you're tormented. And it's Blight. Like, the most mobile killer in the game, really good add-ons, disgusting power. He's 115 for some fucking reason. Like, come on, it's Blight, dude. I'm not going to explain anything. Fuck this killer.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
Twins. Twins are weird. They're constantly buggy. They're always broken. Yet, at the same time, they're very, very strong. Like, playing against the twins is a really hard fucking match. If you're in solo queue, it's borderline impossible. So, how twins work is that in terms of a microplay, they are the slug killer. No killer slug's better than twins. And that's purely because Victor, if he back revs you, he's an unavoidable little shit. If you can keep survivors injured against you all the time, like, you will slowly but very, very surely kill them. Like, you can slowly have one person dying and then another person hit with Victor. You can have Charlotte walk around and then chase somebody as a basic killer and then just drain pallets. You regress generators passively. And then you can choose to pick and select which survivors you want to hook to build up pressure while you have one person slugged. And then you can just go around and hit them again with Victor. Like, twins are a hard killer to go against. Twins, theoretically, are the most uncounterable killers, barring one weakness: anti-slug perks. Anti-slug perks and endurance perks on the whole fuck these guys up way more than any other killer. Because if you have somebody picked up on the floor and they have, like, Bugger to Live Forever or Soul Guard, that's it. They can just, like, get hit by Victor and then just put their little fucker in the ground. Things like good healing perks like Bonding Knowledge, Circular Healing, so on and so forth, really hurt because you need to be injured against twins in order for them to be really, really deadly. Twins can also prevent that by using Force Penance. But, like, overall, twins are pretty good. They have good add-ons as well. Like, Toy Sword is pretty much mandatory. Movement speed for Victor is really, really good. Their Eries are actually kind of surprisingly good as well. I like their iridescence. The cloth especially. Trickster. Right. I know this is going to be controversial. I think Trickster fucks. I think Trickster's unironically much more threatening than a lot of people give him credit for. Similar to Bubba and Huntress, if you go down in basement against a Trickster, you're not getting out. I argue Trickster is the #1 worst killer to ever be unhooked unsafely against. This motherfucker can down the rescuer and the rescued survivor super quick thanks to his knives and his main event. Trickster in most loops, you need to fucking respect. You need to be careful with Trickster. He can chip away at you very slowly but surely. He's 115. He has a very quiet lullaby, actually. Like, you go stealth Trickster, like, people will greatly underestimate how close you can actually get with him. And, of course, main event, which has a lot of things you can do with it. Like, if you run Tequila Moonrock or the, watch, the stopwatch, God, you can just slaughter teams in, like, with one use of main event if they're all positioned badly. You need to be careful with Trickster. You need to run tall height loops against Tricksters. So, like, TNLs, main buildings, you need to play around walls against Trickster. Because he can slowly catch you out in a bad position. He can shred you to bits. Endurance won't even matter. You dead hard against him, but if he still got LOS of you and still chipping you with knives, you're fucked. He has good add-ons as well. Like, the Memento Blades as well might as well just straight up be base kit. Like, holy shit, they really upped Trickster's threat factor by a lot. The shoe add-ons are really, really good. He has the CDs, which make him do different effects. You have the ones that scatter in the environment that build up if you're nearby them. Some that can pierce through survivors, and then there's trick blades which ricochet the knives all over the place, and they're fucking hilarious to go against. I love Ricochet Trickster. I think they should be base kit, and it's better Ricochet than the killer with a built-in Ricochet power. Not saying who.
I'm putting you out to work the field.
Nemesis. I think Nemesis is a very scary killer. So, he's a watered down Pyramid Head. So, he's kind of similar, like, you know, he holds out his tentacle, he can swing it out, and he can hit over loops, he can hit over pallets, and whatever else, right? However, unlike, say, Pyramid Head, which can clip you for walls, Nemesis can straight up bulldoze pallets. Being in chase against Nemesis is a really fucking hard thing to deal with because his tentacle comes out way faster than Pyramid Head. It's way harder to get away from because he can drag it and snag you round corners, even that you think you're completely safe. At tier 2 and tier 3, he straight up destroys pallets instantly. Like, even if he doesn't want to hit you, he can straight up angle his camera right and just destroy the pallet and just keep up with you. So if you pre-drop against Nemesis, you're fucking your team over and you will die super quick. And of course, at tier 3, he has extra range. And the range this motherfucker can hit you, you'd think he was hacking. Like, it's so deceptive, like, how much that extra, like, meter and a half that he gets can fucking make a difference. It's really, really scary. This also includes his zombies, which are the most schizophrenic experiences ever, because they're either clutch, like harass survivors all the time, can potentially get hits, even downs, depending on the scenario, or they're completely useless, out in the middle of nowhere, doing nothing, being an unhelpful waste of time. But because the Nemesis is really good chase, it's like Clown. Like, you can't avoid a Clown in chase. Nemesis, all you can do is just hope you dodge enough tentacles to really make a difference. Nemesis in a chase will eventually fucking win. Like, he will. And you need to greed pallets against him to just try and bait a basic attack out of him. You cannot animation lock yourself, and you cannot drop pallets when he's in tier 2 or tier 3. You need to be careful with him.
Stay in the box! No! Stay in the box! No!
Pinhead. God. I remember the days when this killer was actually good. Pinhead. You're down here. Oh, man. Oh, God, I remember when Pinhead was actually good. So, Pinhead has a unique problem, and that is his chase power is cock and balls at most times. The moment you want to use it is when survivors are in the middle of the loops or trying to, like, mid-distance against you. You spawn the chain on top of them, and it'll hold them in place. The problem is, survivors all break the chains around the environment, which means your chains do fucking nothing. Unless you bring the impaling wire add-on, which is a purple. But if you don't bring that add-on, then what's the fucking... Like, why? Why should you bring that add-on? And it gets worse. Like, the box is it's a passive slowdown, and you can manipulate that to be more obnoxious if you bring... What are the other add-ons? Is it Torture Pillar? Or is it Larry's Remains? No, Larry's Remains is... God, there's so many add-ons and fucking perks in this game. But the point is that Pinhead has a really bad chase power at most times, because there are times where, like, you know, you can hit the survivor normally, or you will break every single chain on planet Earth. Like, he himself, his own model breaks the fucking chains, which really hurts his chase. Then on top of that, his box is a passive slowdown, which honestly is really underrated. I think Pinhead's slowdown is actually really, really decent. You need to entertain it. And if Pinhead finds... It's like a little tug of war between the survivors and Pinhead. Whoever finds the box will get the benefit. Like, survivors can straight up delay the chain hunt, and Pinhead can teleport over to harass that survivor. But if he's doing that, then he's not getting anything like, say, chain hunt. If he finds the survivor that picks up the box, he can down them and then activate chain hunt. Or if he uses his macro play correctly, he can straight up just win the game with one use of Lethal Pursuer. He sees where the survivor spawns, he can immediately assume from where he spawns, and he can deduce where the box will spawn afterwards. And he can end games really, really quickly, because then things are like ruin and surge or regress generators as chain hunt's happening. Survivors can't get heals going, so Sloppy Butcher and Gift of Pain will be shitting him up. Like, Pinhead really fucks on a lot of cases. On the average, though, he's just not that good. He has a lot of weaknesses. He's so add-on dependent. He's actually really bad. Like, you need to run Impaling Wire on him. And I'm kind of pissed off that they just did not give him any buffs before he left. Like, they did it to Demogorgon, and they've done it to Myers. They've not done it to fucking Pinhead, though. And that really annoys me. Artist. I think Artist is not a good killer. Right, I'm gonna put her below Trickster. Right, so here's the problem with Artist, right? This is a killer with a ranged attack that goes across the entire map, and unlike Huntress, Trickster, Slinger, and Plague, Artist's power is not held back by walls. Imagine Pyramid Head, but can actually go across the entire fucking map That alone should be scary. However, Artist's problem is that you're not using her power correctly if you go for long-range snipes, which is dumb as fuck considering her power's design. Because if you get hit by a crow, she has to tag you with her power and then she can hurt you. It's like Nemesis where you have to be infected and then you're weak to the tentacle. But Artist, you have to be hit by the crows and then only then will the next lot of crows be able to hurt you. The problem is that they're very easy to beat and remove. Like, you can just hold forward, hide the crow's aura, and like go a different direction to throw her off. You can instantly hop into a locker and then hop out to instantly get rid of them for some fucking reason. She has to hit you twice with the crows and then hit you twice in order to actually take a health state off you. So she has to hit you theoretically 4 times. And that, in terms of the game length and how you want to play, like, on the average, it's just not helpful. It's not beneficial to you. It's just not good. It's not good gameplay. So her best form of gameplay is to walk up to survivors, lock them in loops, and then just zone them with the birds. You fart out a bird one way, and you zone them into the bird, and they'll have to either A, run into the fucking bird's path, which gives them an instant injure, B, fake going into the bird's path, which then you just keep closing in and then basic M1 them, or C, they greed round, you keep pushing forward, and then you just fart out another bird to lock them in one area again. Like, Artist is such a, like, counterintuitive design that I think she's probably like the second worst ranged killer in my opinion. Like, she has the potential to hit you from cross map, but she doesn't, because she's not good for that. She's too easy to counter. They need to change her. Like, she is just not a good killer. Her add-ons are extremely shit as well, barring longer crow removal, severed hands. I'm trying to remember what else she has. Eerie Feather's fun. Fuck, dude. Artist just needs changing. Like, she needs to be deadlier the further you are from her. She should be the cross-map killer. She should be. Not this lock people into small loop and then zone them with my branch attack. If I wanted to do that, you play Pyramid Head. And that's kind of a problem. She's just designed more for that rather than cross-mapping. And it really, really sucks. Like, she's just not a good killer because of it. Sadako. Sadako's weird. So, you have a killer who doesn't get stunned by pellets when she's demanifested. And her gameplay boils down to a mix of, like, forcing survivors to juggle healing and chase against you, as well as entertaining a secondary objective akin to Pig. The thing about it is that her Condemn, depending on the map, ranges from not that much of a problem to fucking S-tier level threat. And that's, if you know how to play and juggle with Sadako's power, like, you will pretty much just win most of your matches. Like, solo queues do not know how to entertain her, and she's had different changes in, like, relatively quick succession to how she works. Quite a lot. Her teleports and her Condemn mechanic is really fucking difficult to really deal with properly. Most Sadakos are known to just straight up not get stunned a lot of the time, so they'll just, like, fake using the power, force a pre-drop, you break it instantly. Sometimes they'll be able to, like, use the power, go one way, go invisible, similar to Spirit's passive phase that she does from time to time. Except, unlike Spirit, that's just pure randomness. Sadako, you can directly control, and the really good Sadakos will use something like Raiko's Watch to increase their duration a little bit more. So they'll fake going one way, then go the other way, and then go back while they're just constantly invisible, and then they just get a free hit on the survivor, and the survivor just doesn't know what the fuck the Sadako's doing. Of course, like, you force secondary objectives on Sadako, so, like, you can, like, you know, have hexes, you have her tapes, you can force a slug, all the while you harass 3 other survivors to do your tapes, deal with the hex, and deal with you in chase. Sadako's a very difficult killer to deal with. But she's not that strong either. It's weird, because I make her sound like she's, like, high B tier or low A tier, but she's just not on the grand scheme of things. She's, as long as you entertain her mechanic, she's not that threatening. She isn't. The only way she's threatening is when there's like barely any pallets for you to work with, she has someone slugged, and you're all building up a lot more condemned than you really should. You need to entertain her mechanic. If you do that, she's not a problem. Trust.
Today is the winter solstice, which means the longest night of darkness. Evil Larry's ready to celebrate by spending it in your closet.
Dredge. This one saddens me, dude. I love Dredge, but fuck. He's somewhere in C tier. I don't know, is he better or worse than Doctor? So, Dredge has 3 powers. He has his Remnant, which he can put down at one side of a loop and then teleport over. So he kind of has this gameplay akin to Spirit, where he can force you to go one way through a loop, instantly teleport back, or you stay on your side and then just call the survivor's bluff. So he's kind of like a 50-50 killer in chase, but he has no way to really trick or dupe survivors to go in whatever way you want, akin to Spirit. Like, you can like phase one way, then immediately 180 the other way, and then trick survivors to go where. He's also very easy to counter. Like, you could just run to the Remnant and just straight up cuck his teleport, and he'll have to fart out another one to be able to use it. And that's kind of like the problem with Dredge. Like, he has a lot of weaknesses. This also isn't including his teleport, which is map dependent and locker location dependent. And even worse, like, you have no direct control as to which locker you want to teleport. You can only teleport to small packets of lockers. And if survivors are efficient, you can lock one locker of this bundle. You will teleport to the locked locker, which means you have to waste another token to teleport to, you know, bypass the lock. Or you just deal with the fucking animation to break the lock and give survivors tons of time to run away from you. You do that anyway, because Dredge is a loud as fuck character when he's teleporting to the lockers. He's also got Nightfall, which in most games isn't the most game-changing shit in the world. But, you know, a little bit of darkness can make people throw themselves off, maybe go the wrong way, get stuck in a wall, you know, give you a chance to catch up. It makes your teleport recover much, much faster. Your teleport speed to lockers is insanely fast. Like, you just become a very difficult killer to deal with. You're, like, all over the place and nowhere at all. But God, not being in Nightfall as Dredge is rough as fuck. He has good add-ons, though. His purples are really good. You have Field Recorder, Lavalier Mic, you have Boat Key, you have Auto Writing, you have Hattie's Calendar, you have the Worry Stone, which I really, really like. Dredge has some weirdly good add-ons, yet they don't help him elevate. He's better than Doctor purely because he has mobility. Pig has way better slowdown, though. Is this right? Do I move Dredge up above Pig? I'm biased. I'm going to put Dredge in top of C tier. I'm sorry.
Gaslighting? That's not a real thing. Did your friends tell you about that? Did your friends tell you about gaslighting?
Wesker. Weird one. Wesker's kind of similar to Huntress. Kind of got fucked by map design over the years. He still holds for himself, though. Like, I think Wesker's still an A-tier killer. I do. He's mobile, he can pretty much grab survivors, infect them, he has built-in slowdown, built-in tracking, very good add-ons like Lion Medallion, Ouroboros Tendril, the gloves, the speaker is really, really good, he has aura reading, he has Airy Aura Vial, Lab Photo, his add-ons are just really, really good across the board, like, genuinely. His weaknesses boil down to that he has a similar problem to Demogorgon, where if he his charges get clipped by a pixel, like, it's fucked, or he has to waste another thing to go for it. At the same time, like, I've seen Weskers pull some dirty fucking shit to really throw people off. And it's usually the Weskers in Stars uniform that do the wackiest shit. But that's a subject for another time in this tier list video. I think Wesker's a decent killer. I think Wesker's an A-tier killer. Genuinely, like, I've seen Wesker's been able to hold themselves a lot of the time in the game. Like, even with a bad start or a bad run or whatever, the Weskers somehow always pull it back.
Who are you?
We are the knights who say...
Knight. I think Knight's a pretty fucking solid killer. His whole identity is that he is a map-controlling juggler. He's constantly harassing at least 2 survivors at any given time. He's using Jailer to scout where survivors are and to get them into a long, annoying chase to distract them, since they can't ignore the guards or they will be injured and they'll go down. And then while he's entertaining one guard, he can go somewhere else, he can chase another survivor, and then he has a choice to immediately call the guard back, force it into cooldown, and he can summon Assassin to start another chase, and it's more dangerous because Assassin moves at 110. He could summon Carnifex to insta-break a pallet that he's at. Knight's very dexterous. He's a very dexterous killer, and he pretty much, like, adapt to most, if not all situations around him. He can patrol most areas with his power. He can harass multiple survivors at any given time. I'm trying to think, like, unlike using lockers against, like, twins or a nemesis, like, the Knight's guards will actually open lockers if you're in chase with them. Like, you cannot just hop into a locker to cheat the guard out. Like, they will just tear that shit open, hit you, and you will go down, or you will get injured. You need to be careful with Knight. He's strangely flexible.
Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?
Next up, Singularity. I think Singularity is one of the 5 best killers in the game. The map control this motherfucker possesses is unparalleled. You will constantly be everywhere in the trial. You have constant visual monitoring of everywhere in the trial with your 8 cameras, 10 if you bring an add-on. You have an infection mechanic, which really ups your threat factor, because then you can teleport to multiple survivors. You can straight up bulldoze through pallets, because when you're in your overclocked, you don't get stunned. You move 118% movement speed after you teleport in overclock. It gets longer the more survivors you have infected. You can hypervolt, you can hyperbreak through pallets super quick. Like, Singularity is such a stupidly disgusting killer. And he's one of the best sluggers in the game. Like, you have one person slugged with burnt remains, you can infect the rest of the team and just fuck them up so slowly. Burnt remains is such a stupid add-on. Not to mention, he also has access to some really good add-ons as well, like aura reading. He has the diagnostic repair tool, which increases his scan range on his cameras by like 4 meters, which, holy shit. He can make survivors scream if they're using MPs. He can exhaust survivors. He can elongate overclock. More importantly, he has the bureaucratic form? The one that makes survivors instantly infected at the start of the trial. Like, holy shit, I've seen Singularities pull off, like, 3 wins purely because of that one add-on. Like, it's actually insane how much of a win that add-on is for Singularity. It's disgusting. Man, that was an extremely painful shit. Moving on. Xenomorph. Right. Xenomorph's weird. Right. In Chase, Xenomorph is extremely obnoxious to deal with. Like, she's here-ish, I think. Like, trying to deal with crawler mode, you animation lock yourself, you're fucked. And she can clip over most low-height things. Like, she's weird. She can aim things up and then drop it down. And you can hit almost over anything if the hitboxes are aligned right, and you can clip the survivor. She's really actually kind of alright in Chase. She's actually good. And she has the tunnels, so she has mobility. And, you know, she has tracking because of the footprints. On multi-layered maps like Midwich and RPD, she's really dog shit because it's really hard to just try and navigate where the footprints are in comparison to the station that you're going to. She has one problem, though. Flame turrets. If you are dealing with the survivors that are placing 2 turrets outside of not too far from your tunnels, you can get burned out of your power super quick. You straight up have no power, you have no chase tool, and that means survivors will just play you around you like a basic M1 killer. You won't have any tail mode, and it really fucking sucks to deal with as Xeno. Like, holy shit, it hurts. At the same time, I don't know, I don't think most survivors really understand the proper uses of turrets. Like, maybe you'll get like 1 or 2 survivors maybe every 7 matches, I think. It's a weird estimation, but that's usually my experience. I don't know. You're better than Slinger. You're better than this lot. I can't put you... Are you better than Pinhead? Kinda? I'll leave you there for now.
Jesus have souls. I go to church. I'm a Christian.
Chucky. Right. I'm going to say it. I think Chucky should have stayed as an A-tier character. I don't care what anyone says. Chucky was fucking hilarious. Now, though, he's definitely B-tier. I'd say he's below Tricky. Above Artist. Like, he's 110 with a 32 meter terror radius, akin to Slinger. He has no ranged attack, but it's Chucky. He's a fucking doll. He's tiny. He can hide almost anywhere. He has an undetectable ability, so he can creep up on you unless you hear him giggling. He has a dash move that he can chain to go over windows and under pallets, and he can keep chaining it over and over and over until either A, he lets go of it to get a hit, or he's flying away to the other side of the fucking world. His downside is that he has no way to control his dash. Unlike Myers, who does, Pig and Myers have control, but Pig cannot do anything to drop pallets. Myers can just straight up destroy dropped pallets. Chucky can't do anything but crawl under and just hope the survivor just doesn't turn a right angle, because that's his counter. Like, man, Chucky got fucking hard, nerfed way too hard, man. They should bring him back. I don't care what he says.
What is that? It's the unknown.
I can't. I think Unknown is the lowest bit. Is he better than Bubba? Right, let's just start with his power. He is the noob tube of the game. He has a projectile that's like a short-range grenade launcher. The projectile doesn't do anything to survivors or apply a really shitty hinder, but the blast is the one that infects survivors and injures survivors. Akin to Pyramid Head, it can clip you through walls. Like, if you hug walls and too much, he can hit you through them. And the same with multi-layer maps. Like, if you're above him and you're infected, he can actually shoot the ceiling and damage you through that, which is really, really funny. He also can fart out these clones of his, and he can teleport around the map to them, so he has pretty good map control, honestly. However, to remove the infection, you need to look at him, which is dumb already. And even worse, it's the same reveal mechanic as Ghostface, who is one of the worst killers in the game. I don't think I need to tell you why that is a garbage fucking idea. And even worse, you can somewhat bounce his projectile off walls and trees and angles with his power, but it's so dog. Like, you fire projectile, it just drops like a fucking water balloon. Like, it's dog shit. Unlike Trickster's ricochet blades, which actually are threatening. God, the amount of effort you need to put into Unknown to be really good with him does not even equate to the amount of effort if you put into any of these other killers and then get way more results. The amount of time to put in effort to be a good Unknown, you can half that if you pick someone like Blight or Hillbilly, or even someone like, Wesker, Pyramid Head, Knight, Singularity. God, the amount of effort you need to put into Unknown to actually be good with him is so dog shit. He's just not a good killer. He isn't. I can't put him high. But he has map ability. He's better than Bubba because of that. But honestly, in terms of lethality, I'd rather be chased by, Bubba is way more threatening than Unknown, in my opinion. Which fucking blows, because Unknown's cool. Vicky. I think Vicky fucks. I think Vicky's a really good killer. The thing with Vecna is he has multiple powers at once in his kit. He has flight, which is a really good transport. It's a really good mobility tool. Like, it's actually really, really good. He has the Bone Boys, which I honestly like the Bone Boys. Like, Vecna at different level maps, like Almond Lake, is so much fun, because it's not a case of you crouch and you avoid him. It's like you actually need to give a fuck of your positioning against the skeletons now, because he can actually go into like a dip and hit you from anywhere. Like, actually avoiding the Bone Boys actually does feel like big brain when playing against him. Of course, he has Mage Hand, which is probably his most boring power, because you can straight up deny pallet drops. Like, if you cast a spell and the survivor drops it, it'll just auto pick up. You go right through and you hit him for free. If you try and fake the pallet in time and Vecna pulls the pallet up, it'll animation lock you. He can push through and deny you from getting the pallet. Like, Vecna has a lot of weird answers to different scenarios. He's actually really, really flexible. Of course, he has Dragon with the sphere, which also cucks the magic items, which will reveal his aura to them, to the survivors, depending on what equipment they have. Honestly, I think his downside is that he's not consistently as dangerous as this lot. But he has the potential to be. Like, honestly, a Vecna that can keep the loop and pressure going can fuck up whole teams.
Si serás imbécil, Jacinto. Todos mis antepasados son judíos. ¿Ah, sí? Pues mira lo que tengo. ¡Heil Hitler!
Dracula, like... oh dear. Dracula. Dracula, akin to Vecna, has multiple powers in his kit, but they are the whole powers of other killers, but on crack. He has wolf form, which lets him move 115 with a third-person camera akin to Chucky, with a dash mechanic akin to Wesker and Demogorgon. He has his vampire form, which has an anti-loop tool that is both better than Nemesis and Pyramid Head, and it can climb up fucking hills. And he also has bat form, which is just spirit's power, but not bound to the fucking rules of pallets or walls. He can fly over windows, he can fly over pallets, and he can teleport to stuff at a far enough range. Why does this one killer have so much into his equipment? And this isn't even including add-ons. He can give himself an extra flame pillar, but reduce, cooldown speed. He can move... He can get scent orbs in his wolf form a little bit faster. He can make him last longer. He can... increase his teleport range by a small amount. And even worse, he has access to a fucking bamboozle add-on. For some reason, this motherfucker has a bamboozle add-on just in his kit somewhere. Like, Ghostface doesn't have that, Clown doesn't have that, and he's the one that introduced bamboozle. Like, that just shows you how fucked Dracula's kit is. It's not in S tier, but it feels like it. Like, you can win chases against Dracula. It's hard. It's very, very hard. But you can totally win chases against Dracula. If Houndmaster worked, I think she's like the best B tier killer. If she genuinely functioned and she actually had good add-ons, I'd put her in A tier. So Houndmaster is Deathslinger, but 115, and has 2 chances to hit you with the dog. She also has a mobility tool where she sends the dog out to scout, and you can use to follow the trail to get a fuckload of extra movement speed, and you can go straight into doing dirty work. Houndmaster is very dexterous for just how much of her power is revolving around the dog. I actually really do fuck with Houndmaster as well. I like Houndmaster, but damn, they need to fix her bugs. Her bugs are like her biggest fucking problem. Yeah, I think Houndmaster is a really decent killer. She has 2 opportunities to hit you with a dog. You can insta-vault pallets and windows and grab survivors. You can run things like Stabiffle. If survivors are caught mid-animation, it's a free injure, no questions asked. You can also, if somebody tries to body block, you can set the dog on the body blocker to pull them aside and then go right after the injured person. Like, you have options with Houndmaster. Houndmaster is very flexible.
Yes, I'm a weeaboo. Yes, I'm a weeaboo.
Kaneki, like, it's Kaneki. Like, you're hyper fast, you're aggressive, you can get a free injure really, really quickly because he has an auto-aim hit scan attack for some fucking reason. You can force survivors to be in deep wound. You have one of the best map mobility powers in the game. You have your hyper vault when you're enraged. You also have your Mori's Mask and Red-Headed Centipede, which is ultimate weapon / barbecue built into one add-on, which is your Mori's Mask, and then Red-Headed Centipede is Bamboozle, because, again, we're just giving Bamboozle add-ons to killers that do not fucking need it at all. Like, Kaneki's hilarious because people fucking hate going against him, yet playing as him is so much fun. Like, holy shit, I love playing as Kaneki. He's a lot of fun. I know how brain dead the killer is, but fuck, to say he's not fun would be a lie. Springtrap. You're here. Right. So he's similar to Huntress in that he has an axe that he lobs, but it has a bit more weight to it. And unlike Huntress, he can't throw his axe very far. What he can do is throw it over. So any highball loop, he can lob that shit over and potentially hit survivors. And he can do it to like almost any loop. He can do it over most obstacles if he angles it right. And even better, when he gets rid of the axe, he turns from 110 to 115. He also has the ability, if he has a survivor with an axe in their body, he can go up to them and get an insta grab, which prevents any pellet save. Depending how quickly survivors drop, he can't be flashlight blinded. It's an auto grab, so he can go straight into doing dirty work and slam them on a hook. He also has the camera room, which allows him to have map mobility. If survivors go into the camera room to try and teleport as well, he can intercept them and just get a free grab out of them, which honestly really counters him because nobody entertains the mechanic because of it. They'd rather get hit by the axe and deal with a sneaky Springtrap than, get insta-grabbed by the motherfucker. Springtrap's alright. He has a very finicky and difficult to learn power, but he can fuck. He can fuck. Is he better than Myers, though? I'm gonna say no. Because Springtrap has endoskeleton, though, or endo-CPU, sorry. And Foxy's hook. But Myers is simpler. And he shits on pallets for a living. I'm gonna boost Springtrap down a tier, but he's here. He's better than this lot. Krasu. This is where people are probably going to absolutely disagree with my take. I think Krasu is very overrated now that they just ultra giga nerfed her. She's not turbo dog shit, but honestly, compare her to other killers. I don't think she's as good as people paint. She's not S tier anymore. She's certainly not A tier. Worse. 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 Worse, worse, worse. Actually, you have the best third-person camera of everybody in the cast. But Dracula has way better powers. Krasu's weakness is that she vaults way too slow over pallets in her headphone mode. Her infection mechanic, while easy to apply, is just like she's a pure chase killer. Like in a 1v1 setting, she's really, really threatening. But so is literally everybody else. Like Deathslinger, Xeno, Myers, Clown, everybody here in a 1v1 setting is way more threatening. She's not a good juggler. Her infection's easy to get rid of and cleanse against. She's... I don't know, man. I don't think she's that good. I don't think she's as good as people paint her as. You're better than Bubba, you're better than Unknown, you're better than Sadako, better than Demo, better than Hag. You're better than Artist and Chucky? Maybe Artist? But Chucky? You have Headlong Flight. That's something I forgot. You also have a mobility tool akin to Spirit, but you actually see auras and you can see the physical realm. Right, I'm going to put Krasu there. Krasu's in B tier. I don't think she's like that good, honestly. I really, really don't. Okay, so quick update because this video is late as fuck. Henry Creel came out and, yeah, he's an A-tier killer. I'd say, ooh, is he about, I don't know where to put him. He's actually kind of good. I think he's better than Pyramid Head, better than Huntress, better than Wagner, better than Wesker. Is he better than Oni? Nah. I don't think he's better than Oni, at least not now. I'm going to wait for him to be settled in for a couple of months before I really have a genuine opinion of him. But as of right now, yeah, he sits in A tier. He's actually really, really solid. Okay, bye.